Just a moment, you know, you just said that, are you admitting that it was right? Are you saying that it was right to have stopped those people from coming into Ekiti State? Is that what you're saying?
Because they came in after the curfew had been imposed. There are rules to this thing. It's not about right or wrong.
Just a moment. The rule, what is the rule?
The operational preparedness of the troops that go to stabilize any environment takes particular cognizance of the situation they meet on ground, either as a result of prior security or as a result of what their instructions are.
The question is, what is the rule? What is the rule as stipulated by INEC or even the electoral laws?
You see, the electoral law says that you must stop campaigning a couple of hours or days before an election. And it has become known that before...
I think the electoral law is not ambiguous. It's quite clear on what the rule is.
The electoral law says that security will not be provided during the election, and that man and material will not be provided.
We're talking about movement and campaign. That's what
there are issues around that. If the government declares a curfew for the purposes of ensuring that you don't have brigandage there, everybody must comply. You won't find PDP running around when they say we shouldn't go out. It's the nature of the APC and their people to lie to flout the law. You know what they see themselves? They see themselves as operating in fiefdom, in the small enclaves that they operate, and they believe that they are above everybody and above the laws of this country. This country is not a banana republic. But if they win the presidential election, we will comply with the laws that they make there. But right now, our party and our president is leading, and they must just damn let him lead.
We've got some questions about security. I mean, Turner says, well, do we have the same capacity to deploy over 25,000 troops per state on general election?
Yeah, I'll answer that by telling you that on the day 25 states are having elections, everybody is busy. You won't have people running from Ogun to go and destabilize Oyo when they are managing their own problems. You won't have people from Lagos running into Ogun State to go and handle Ogun. That's the thing.
So we shouldn't have security on this.
You will have security on that day. The security that we will have will be adequate for that time because all of the other locations too are busy. But what you see with all of these staggered elections from other states is that there is always an amalgamation of all the troublemakers, all in the direction of that place where the election is. So the military must prepare, the army must, the police must, or whatever special operations must. Yes.
There's a problem with that thinking.
What's that?
In the sense that the president did say that where he noticed, you know, when he talked about electoral violence, he talked about the 2011 elections.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people had been hoping that we will continue to see an improvement in elections, and these elections in the different states that it has happened in are giving us an idea of what the 2015 elections will be like. And so if we're saying that when 2015 comes, everybody will be busy, we still will be witnessing violence there because it will mean that we haven't cured it, considering that the violence, or the last time we witnessed violence, was in the last 2011 elections.
Okay, let me explain that to you. You see, if you finish Osun now, Osun is over. The Nigerian public, those that were there and those that were not there, understand that the wishes of the people really do matter. And that when people are resolved to stand by their vote, to vote and cast and count their vote, there's very little you can do. There's a maxim we have in politics. You can only even do rubbish or try to rig when you are ridiculously too popular and your popularity is so much and you're just being silly. Because if you're not popular, if you try anything stupid, there'll be severe consequences. So for the 2015 election, it may not necessarily, in fact, it will not be violent. Why should it be? Because most of the states in the country will be busy. Do you think in 2015 election, Amici will be carrying his private jet to leave his River State and be coming to even Imo State when he's busy either trying to put a successor or trying to make his party win? So it is the way the resources... Yes.
In policing or securing this electioneering state, are the security operatives directed to monitor only the opposition?
Thank you.
Or is it that the ruling party or the PDP does not have people that are out of order at any point in time? Is that what the security officers are allowed to do?
Thank you. You will observe that because the opposition, in this case the APC, likes propaganda even more than they like facts, they are usually a people that over-exaggerate the little scratch or the little point or the little reprimand that comes to their people. Whereas our people in the PDP, our politicians, have imbibed the culture of understanding that once the military come, they're not coming to come and say, PDP, come and start doing rubbish on the field. No, they're not going to allow anybody to do it. But we are comfortable with
so
that.
immediately the security operatives step in, the PDP behaves itself, and it's only the opposition that goes against the laws.
Because, especially the APC, not Labour, not other parties, there are not only two parties in this country, because the APC and its drivers, the Bola Tinubus of this world, they believe that they can do...
Let's
yes, well, he's the leader of the party, just like Jonathan is ours. Anyway, I take that back. The APC and its leaders believe in their minds that once the federal government is involved in the process, that process is flawed. And then you then need to ask them. They make a lot of talk about INEC before an election, especially when it doesn't go their way. Have they bothered to take a look at the election commissions that are under their watch at state election? Which of their models is better than that of INEC? So you find out that it's a double jeopardy. They just like to cry when they are winning, and they like to mourn when they are losing. You can never satisfy them.
It's also important to note that the president was actually replying to some Labour leaders who had, told him to, take it easy with the military, as it were. What do we also have to say about that?
When the president speaks, you should know that the information available to a president is a lot. And if the Labour leaders, I don't know which Labour leaders in particular, if they had brought it up like a suggestion or as another point of view that, Mr. President, is it time we begin to relax this thing so that we can begin to test how much of the culture our people have imbibed? It would have been a different thing. But it is not unlike the highly influenced Labour people that are totally politicized to come and say, Mr. President, don't put one simple soldier there, don't put a single policeman there, we don't need security, it's a civil thing, as if they don't understand or know the realities that we both know about elections.
Shouldn't we then be working on equipping the police to handle the elections?
I make bold to say that in the last 40 years that Nigeria has existed, or 50 or so years that we have been a nation and a state, and a country and a republic, under President Goodluck Jonathan, more has been invested in the police and in the army and in the entire military infrastructure than any other regime. The painful part of it is that some of the reasons why there are challenges within the systems today is because over the years, people without systemic thinking have been sitting in power, and therefore they have always been treating symptoms instead of curing diseases. But what the president has been doing is been slowly but steadily addressing this issue on a fundamental and foundational basis. Therefore, look at the quality of IGs that have been appointed under him. Brilliant, articulate, fine officers, not the ones that were before. That was always a sorry state, even for the looks and the image of the police. So what am I saying? I am saying that we won't always have it this way. With time, we will begin to take it easy among ourselves. Look, we lost in Osun. What has happened to our candidate? Nothing.
That he's written a protest letter.
No, he will write a protest letter if there are issues that border on things that they suspect based on the information that they will collect from the people that are presiding officers and all of that. That's normal. But you cannot see that he's grown shorter or he's grown taller. You saw Femi Fani-Kayode take on a statesmanly role immediately after we lost the election. Before we lose the election, everybody will say whatever he likes, but we are always guarded. We are always careful. We are always quick to tell the opposition, congratulations, you have won now. They should learn to imbibe the same culture.
Did you say you're quick to tell the opposition you have won now?
No, but they have won.
They have won
to
now.
say, congratulations, you've won. The president was quick to congratulate them. But all our leaders were quick to congratulate them. That we congratulate them does not limit our capacity and our rights.
But your candidate did not congratulate them.
You are not too. I'm not too sure of that. Our candidate probably has a lot of issues with the election because the man the who wears the shoes knows where it pinches, and probably the avalanche of information coming from presiding officers and all of those that are agents of the field might have made it a little bit difficult for him to quickly rush and be congratulated. In any case, it was not a whitewash like Ekiti, where they were truly roasted in all 16 local government. They won some, we won some. They had about 300 and something thousand votes. We got about 200 and something thousand votes. Do you know what it takes to get 200 and something thousand votes in a state like Ekiti?
And that's why, someone will say that you should also look at the magnanimity of the candidate who was defeated in Ekiti, because not quite how many hours after he had a press conference, saying that if this be the will of the people, you know, then
yes, that party is a party that likes to play to the gallery. They did that on day 1. On day 3 or day 4, they started doing a completely different thing that did not suggest that what they said when they said it, they meant it. But we are not like that. What you see with us is what we get. What we say is what we believe. What we believe is what we live. What we live is what we live by. What we live by is our ethos. We are the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria.
Just a moment.
The underlying word there is people.
My